Welcome dear students and friends in the 16th lecture on Python programming, and on your screen you can see the topic that we are going to study today is binary search using recursion. So if you remember in the last class, in class 11th, I had taught you about the binary search, what binary search is, how it is performed. But I will discuss in detail first through an example what binary search is, and then we will see a recursive program to perform binary search. Okay, so let me tell you what binary search is. In binary search, there are two types of searches basically. There are many types of searches, but for you people, I would like to tell you about two types of searches. One is linear search and another is binary search. Okay, so suppose you are given a list of integers, and those integers are suppose 2, 3, 16, 8, 9, and you are asked to search suppose 16. Okay, so how will you search? There are two approaches. One is your linear search. In linear search, what you will do, that you will check every element starting from the beginning. Okay, so you will check whether this 2 is equal to 16 or not, then whether 3 is equal to 16 or not, and then you will finally find that this 16 is equal to 16, and you will stop at that point of time. As opposed to this, there is another type of search that is called binary search. Okay, so binary search I will discuss in detail how it is performed. So essentially the idea is that you do not go in a linear fashion. Okay, so you just look at some specific portions of your list of integers. Okay, how you do that we will see through an example. Okay, so let's see how binary search is performed. I have taken this array, this list of integers as an example. Okay, and in this list of integers, so you can see that there are 6 elements: 15, 9, 4, 16, 7 and 12. And suppose I want to search 12 in this particular list. Okay, so how I will search? I will search, so this particular element that you have to search, that is also called key. Okay, so your element to be searched is also called key, and here key is equal to 12. Okay, now the very first step in binary search is that you have to first sort your list. Okay, this list must be sorted. You can see that this list is not sorted right now. For example, 15 is greater than 9, then 4 is less than 9, so this list is not sorted. So the very first task is to sort the list. Okay, sort in ascending order or descending order, whatever the order may be. For time being, I am assuming that I am sorting it in ascending order. Okay, and whatever algorithm we are going to discuss, that will be with respect to the list sorted in ascending order. Okay, so here is your 4, then 7, and then 9, and then you have 12, and then you have 15, and then finally you have 16. So this is your sorted list. Okay, now which is your key? This particular 12 is your key. Okay, so let me recolor it as suppose green. So this is your key. If this key is found in your list, then your job is done. Okay, so let me put the indexes below all these elements. So this index is 0, its index is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so there are 6 elements and their indexes are from 0 to 5. So what is our approach? Our approach is that we take 2 pointers, we take 2 variables. One is your start and another will be your end. Okay, S and E. Okay, so S basically points to your first element, and in the sorted list, of course, not in the original list. Okay, so you have to mind it that you have to, the very first step in binary search is that you have to first sort your list. Once the list is sorted, then you have to assign some variables to the starting and end index positions and elements. Okay, so the start element becomes S, and the start index position basically becomes S, and E becomes your end index position. S starts for start, E stands for end. Okay, so S is equal to 0 initially and E is equal to 5, as you can see in this diagram. Okay, now what will happen, that besides this, the very first step is after we have assigned this S and E to the start and end index positions, you have to compute something called as mid. Okay, so mid, as you can guess from the name, that mid is nothing but the mid position. So what will be the mid of S and E? It will be nothing but S plus E divided by 2. Okay, so this is basically your mid index position. Okay, so it is nothing but, and of course you have to take its integer part. Okay, sometimes it may not be an integer, so you have to take, of course, integer of S plus E by 2. So for example, in this case, here your S is 0 and E is 5. Okay, so what will be mid? Your mid will be 0 plus 5 divided by 2. So in this example, mid will be integer of course 0 plus 5 divided by 2, that is 5 divided by 2. Okay, and that will be equal to nothing but 2. Okay, so here your mid is nothing but 2. So your this particular position, this 2 will become your m. Okay, so let me enlarge it a bit. Okay, so I think you can you know how to find m. You first assign the values to the s and e, and then m is nothing but the middle of s and e, that is equal to s plus e by 2 and its integer part. Okay, now your how the binary search is performed. So what you basically check is that whether your key is equal to this middle element or not. Okay, so what you do, so once you have computed mid, okay, so let me write here key first. This you have computed mid, okay, which is nothing but int of s plus e by 2. Now your key is what? Your key is 12 in this particular example. Key can be anything. The element that you want to search is called key. Okay, now so what you do next is that you check whether the element, the key that you are trying to search is present at this middle element or not, this middle index position or not. So basically you try to find out that if L, let me take this, call this list as L. So your list is L. Okay, now your task is that whether your key element is present at M or not, whether this LM is equal to key or not. This is what you have to find. Okay, so what is your LM in this particular example? Your LM is 9, which is not equal to 12, which is not equal to key. Okay, so this particular condition is not satisfied. If this condition was satisfied, your job is done. Okay, so by now you might have guessed that this is your termination condition, that if this LM is equal to key, then this is your termination condition, that key found. Okay, the message that should be printed is that key found, and if you want you can print the index position also. So what is the index position? That is M. So key found at M, this message should be printed. Okay, so I hope, let me repeat it what I have told from the beginning. So first you take a list containing all integers, then you sort it first, you assign index position to all these elements, then the starting one is assigned a variable to a variable s, or you can say that the start index position becomes s and the end index position becomes e, and then you compute mid. Okay, so mid is what? Mid is nothing but, as it is obvious from the name, that mid is nothing but it is middle of s and e, the middle index position. Okay, so it is nothing but integer of s plus e divided by 2. Now once this m is found, then you check whether this middle element is equal to key or not, that is it is equal to the element that you are trying to search or not. Okay, if it is not equal, then what you have to do, if this condition is satisfied, your job is done. Okay, you simply print this message that key found at index position m. But what if it is not found? Okay, so now one thing is for sure, that if it is not found, then either this particular LM is either going to be greater than equal to, if it is not equal, definitely there are two things there, you are left with two options. Either your LM is greater than key. Okay, these are the only two things that you are left with. LM is greater than key, or your LM is less than key. Okay, so these are the only two things which are left out. Okay, and now you have to account for these two situations. Okay, so if this particular condition is not satisfied, then you have to account for these two situations, that whether LM is greater than key or LM is less than key. Now what happens if LM is greater than key? So listen very carefully, that if this LM is greater than key, then what is its meaning? That, okay, so let me first discuss this one, that LM is less than key. Okay, for example in this case, this LM is less than key. Okay, so in this in this example, your LM is what? Your LM is 9 and your key is what? Your key is 12, and you can see that this particular condition is satisfied. Okay, that LM is less than key. So what you do in this situation? Definitely this means that you need not search this particular portion of the list. You need not search this 479. You become sure that the element that you are trying to search is present in this particular portion, that is 12. I mean, it is present ahead of M and not before M, that is for sure. Okay, so you need not search this particular portion. Okay, so I will highlight it with something. Let me highlight it with some different color. Okay, okay, so let me highlight it with yellow, that this particular portion has now been searched. Okay, no need to search in this because your lm is what? Lm is less than key. Okay, so lm is less than key means that the key is present ahead of m. Now what you do in this situation, what you do is that your s becomes your s starting position is now modified. Okay, your starting position is modified. Initially starting position was what? 0, but if lm is less than key, then in that particular situation s becomes what? It becomes m plus 1, because you now need to search this particular portion. Okay, so now your start position should be this one. Okay, your start position should be this, below 3. Okay, because this particular portion is no more to be searched, so you need to search this particular portion. Okay, and if you want to still search this particular portion, then your start position must be this. Okay, so I hope you got the concept that why s becomes equal to m plus 1. Okay, because you need not search before or equal to m. Okay, you need to search ahead of m whether your element is present or not. So that's why s becomes equal to m plus 1. And now you again begin your search. Okay, so again you will compute this mid value, again you will check whether lm is equal to key or not. Okay, so this is how you will proceed. Okay, so now what you will do, that now your this m and s values have been modified. Okay, so now what you will do, that your m will be what? Your s is now 3. So listen very carefully. Now what is the value of s? Your s has been modified, s is equal to 3. And what is your e? E is nothing but equal to 5. So what will be mid? It will be integer of 3 plus 5 by 2, that is 4. Okay, so m will become 4. So your this m will come at this particular position. I hope you got the calculation. S is 3, e is 5 now. So m will become 4. So m will now start pointing to this particular element. Okay, now again you will begin this entire thing. You will check if lm is equal to key or not. Okay, now see whether lm is equal to key or not. No, definitely it is not equal. Okay, why? Because your lm is equal to 15, but your key is how much? Key is equal to 12. So still your job is not done. Okay, okay, so let me write here that after in the previous case, after you have checked this one, lm is less than key, what you will do, that you will increment s equal to m plus 1, and again you will perform the binary search. You will call the same function. Okay, that is where the recursion comes into picture. Okay, that is, you will again call this binary function. Okay, and you will again begin your search. You will again start checking if lm is equal to key or not. If it is not, then again you will check if lm is less than key or if lm is greater than key. Okay, so this is how it will proceed. Okay, now if in this example, as you can see, that what is the value of lm? Lm is equal to 15. And what is your key? Key is your still 12. You can see that key will remain constant. Key is the element that you have to search. Okay, so key will remain constant. Key is not going to get changed. What is going to change is either s or e or m. These three things will keep on changing, but your key will not get disturbed. Key is a constant thing that you are trying to search. Okay, now what will happen in this case? If lm is greater than key, that means that you need not search ahead of m. Okay, you need not search this particular portion. Okay, you need not search this particular portion. Okay, even you need not search this also. Okay, so let me highlight it in you need not search this particular portion. I hope you got the concept that since lm is greater than key, you first checked whether lm is equal to key or not. Okay, so it was not equal. You then checked whether lm is less than key. No, it is not less. So which is the what is the last condition? Your lm is greater than key. Okay, so lm is greater than key, then what will happen? That in this case, as you can guess, that you need not search these two things now. So I will let me recolor it in this yellow. Okay, so you need not search these two elements. You need not search ahead of m. You now need to search below. Okay, you need not search before m whether this element is lying or not. Okay, so what you will do in this case, s is not changed. Okay, s remains unaffected. Instead, what you do, you change e equal to m minus 1. Okay, so you change the value of e, not the value of s. Okay, so these two things we have to keep in mind. And why? That is obvious also, that you now need to change your end position. Okay, you need to bring it before. Okay, you need to bring it before, but in this case, since the element was not lying in this particular portion, so you have to change the value of s. Okay, you need to change the value of s, not the value of e. But in this particular example, since it is not lying ahead of m, so you need to change the value of e. You need to bring it before. Okay, so now what will be e? Again, as I said, that e will become m minus 1. So now initially what is the value of E? It is 5. Now it will become M minus 1. So E will also come here. So now S and E, they both will start pointing to the same element. Okay. I hope you got the concept. What is the value of M? M is equal to 4. Now you are trying to make E equal to M minus 1. So what will be the value of E? It will become 3. Okay. So let me change it. And now both S and E will become 3. So again you will perform, after doing this, again you will perform the binary search. Okay. After changing the value of E, you will again perform the binary search. So that means you are now going to check whether LM is equal to, now what will be the value of, now both S and E have become same. So S is also equal to 3 and E is also equal to 3. So what will be the value of M? M will be nothing but 3. 3 plus 3 divided by 2, that is equal to 3. Now is LM equal to key? Yes, it is equal to key. What is the value of LM? LM is nothing but L3. And what is L3? L3 is nothing but equal to 12. So now you have found your element, you have found your key at the which index position? At third index position. Okay. So this is how this algorithm works. I hope you got this concept, that if starting from 0 and the end index position, you repeatedly check, you repeatedly compute the value of mid, and you check whether LM is equal to key or not, whether your key is present at the mid index position or not. If it is not present, then you check whether LM is less than key, whether the mid element is less than key, or whether it is greater than key. Accordingly, what you do, that you change the index position, start and end index position. That is, if LM is less than key, then you change the value of start index position, and if LM is greater than key, then in that case you decrement the value of E, you make it equal to M minus 1. So this is how it is performed, and at the end, as you can see, that you have found this element at the end, what has become? S has become equal to E, and the value of mid has also become equal to 3. And now again you perform the binary search, and you find that this particular condition has been satisfied, that is LM has become equal to key. So this is how it works. Now in this particular example, the key was found. Okay, but what if the key was not found? How will you print this message that the key not found? Because till now you have seen that if LM is equal to key, then you are printing this message that key found at M. Otherwise you check if LM is less than key, otherwise you check if LM is greater than key. So this is your one base case. Okay, by now you must have guessed that this is your base case. Okay, this is your termination condition, that if LM becomes equal to key, you terminate at that point of time. Okay, otherwise these are the recursive cases. Otherwise, if LM is less than key, you again call, you increment the value of S by M plus 1, and if LM is greater than key, then you change the value of E, and then you again make a recursive function call. But there must be another termination condition, another base case for key not found. So what will happen if the key is not getting found? So let's find out what will be the termination condition for key not found. Okay, so let me change the value of key. Let me make it, suppose let me take key equal to 8. Okay, so let's see what happens. So how it will proceed? Initially, by now you should try yourself also, that this is your S, this is your E. Okay, now what will happen in the first iteration? Again your value of your value of M will be what? M will be 2. Okay, now you will check whether your LM is equal to key or not. So is it equal? You first check this one, that if LM is equal to key, no, this is not equal. So what are the thing that you are trying to search? You are trying to search key equal to 8. You are trying to search 8, but your LM is how much? 9. Okay, so now which condition is satisfied? This is not satisfied. Okay, so till now the key is not found. Now what is the thing, that whether this condition is satisfied? LM is less than key? No, LM is greater than key. Okay, because so this condition is satisfied. Okay, how much is LM? LM is 9 and your key is 8. So definitely LM is greater than key. So this particular condition is satisfied. So which value you will change? Okay, so definitely this is not, your key is not going to be present in this particular area. Okay, this is not you need not to search this 12, 15, 16, because your key is less than LM. Okay, that means you need to change the value of E, not the value of S. Okay, so how much E will become? E will become M minus 1. Okay, so M minus 1, that means how much? This will now become E will come here. Okay, E will come here, M minus 1. M is currently 2, so E will become how much? It will become 2 minus 1, that is 1. So S is here, E is here. Now how much will be the M? Okay, so S is 0, E is 1. So what will be the M? Again you need to compute mid. Okay, I have written mid, it is actually M. Okay, so how much will be, again after changing this value, as I have written here, that you again need to call this binary function. Okay, so after calling, again you need to compute this M. So what will be the value of M? It will be 0 plus 1 divided by 2, that is equal to 0. Okay, so how much it will be? Your M will come here. So S and M will become equal, as you must have computed it now, that S is 0, E is 1. So how much will be M? It will be 0 plus 1 divided by 2. I told you to take its integer part only, so integer part will become 0. So your S and M will now become equal. Okay, and E is your 1. Now you again check this one, that if LM is equal to key, no, LM is not equal to key. What is the value of LM? LM is equal to 4. What is the value of key? It is equal to 8. So is this condition satisfied? No, this condition is not satisfied. Is LM less than key? No, LM is not less than key. Okay, no, sorry, LM is less than key. What is LM? LM is 4. LM in this example is 4. And what is your key? Key is your 8. So this particular condition is satisfied. So which value you will need to change? You will need to change the value of S. Okay, you will need to change the value of S. That means that your key is not present before 4. Anyway, there is no element before 4, but you need not to search before 4. Now your LM is less than key. That means your element is going to be present after this particular index position. Okay, so what will be the, which value will get modified? The start position will get modified. And how much it will become? It will become M plus 1. So where will S come now? S will come here. Okay, S will come here. So now S and E will become equal. Okay, so now you will change the value of this S. Okay, so your S and E will now become equal. Okay, now what will be the value of M? M will be equal to S plus E by 2. So S, E, M, all of them will become same. Okay, so again you will compute the value of M, and what it will be? 1 plus 1 divided by 2, that is equal to 1. So all this S, E, M will become equal. Now what is the will you check this condition? Yes. If LM is equal to key, no. What is your LM? LM is equal to 7, but your key is how much? 8. Okay, so this is where you need to stop. Okay, so listen it very carefully. This is where you need to stop. When your S and E become equal and this particular condition is not satisfied, okay, then you need to stop. Okay, because you have checked everything. You have checked ahead of this also, you have checked before this also, and your element is not found. So what is the termination condition? That when S becomes equal to E and this LM equal to key condition is not satisfied, then you need to stop. For example, in this situation, all this S and E have become same, and still you have not been able to find the key. Okay, that means you need to stop now. You have searched everything. You have searched the left portion also, the right portion also, everything you have searched, and finally S has become equal to key, but still you have not been able to find the key. That means the key is not at all present in the list. Okay, so if S has become equal to E and this LM equal to key is also not satisfied, then you need to stop. Okay, so you just write if S equal to key, then key not found. Okay, key not found. Okay, but first you need to check if LM is equal to key or not. Okay, so first this particular base condition must be there. First you definitely need to check if LM is equal to key or not. Okay, if this is not satisfied and if this S has become equal to E, then that definitely means that key is not present. Okay, key not found or key not present in the list, whatever way you may write it. So I hope you got the concept. I will demonstrate it. I will write the program also, and I will show you that how it is actually happening. I will take the same example and then I will write the program also. Okay, so this is how it is happening. Okay, so let me explain it once again. So what is the first thing that you need to do? That you make this start position as S, you need to make this as the end position, the last one. Then you take M equal to integer of S plus E by 2. Okay, there is a key, that is the element that you have to search, and then you compute the value of M, which is nothing but middle of S and E, that is integer of S plus E divided by 2. After you have find out M, you just need to check if LM is equal to key or not. If it is not equal, then you need to check whether S has become equal to E or not. If S has become equal to E, definitely that means that key is not present, as I have already demonstrated to you. So these are your two base cases, that if LM is equal to key, that means key found at M. Okay, if S, after checking this one, if you reach this conclusion that S has also become equal to E, then basically this particular condition means that if S is equal to E and LM is not equal to key, okay, it is actually this one, okay, LM is not equal to key, okay. So if these two conditions are satisfied, that means key is not present, okay. But since we have already checked this condition, there is no need to write this particular thing that LM is not equal to key. It is already, it has been already satisfied. That's why you have come to, let me write this as elif, okay. So you have come to this elif part because this particular thing was not satisfied, this LM was not equal to key. So you need not write this one, but if you want you can write it also, okay. Basically this means that if S has become equal to E and LM is not equal to key, then you come to this conclusion that key not present, okay. But if these two conditions are not satisfied, that means you need to you need to again search the list, okay. So what will be the thing, that you check if LM is less than key. If it is less than key, then you increment the value of S. If not, then you check if LM is greater than key. In that case you need to decrease the value of E. It will now become M minus 1, and after doing this again you need to perform this binary search, okay. So I hope you got this example. If not, you just watch it in repeat mode. I hope you will be able to understand it. So let me write the program. So let me define a function binary, okay, and what are the parameters that it will take? It will take L, then it will also take start position, it will also take end position, and it will also take the key, that is the element which has to be searched. Okay, now what is the first thing that we are going to compute? As I have written it also here, key is already known, so you need not to write it. So you first compute M and you write equal to integer of S plus E. Okay, so you first need to find mid, okay, M. Now after you have found out M, you need to check if LM is equal to key or not, okay. If LM is equal to key, your job is done, okay. If LM is equal to key, then you just print the message that key found, okay, key found at index, and then you just print the value of M, that is your index position, okay. If it is not satisfied, then what you will do, you will check whether AS has become equal to, okay, so let me see the terminologies, that yes, I have used S and E, okay. So if S has become equal to E, okay, so when you reach this condition, elif S equal to E, what does it mean? This means that S is equal to E and LM is not equal to key, because this condition must not have been satisfied. That's why you have come to this particular portion, okay. So this basically means that S is equal to E and LM is not equal to key. That's why you have come here, okay. So if this is satisfied, then you just simply print the message, sorry, okay, key not found, yeah, key not present in the list, okay. So this is the message that you need to print, okay. So let me write it in the hash. This basically means that S equal to key, and I am not writing this, and LM, okay, LM not equal to key. This is what its interpretation is, okay, because this condition was not satisfied, that is why you have come to this elif part, okay. Okay, so what is the next thing that if these two base cases are not, okay, so this is also your base case, okay, this is your base case 1, this is your base case 1, and this is your base case 2, so these are your two base cases. Now what is your recursive case? Now you need to check if these two conditions are not satisfied, then you just check if LM is less than key, okay. If LM is less than key, then what you need to do, you just saw the code that you need to increment the value of S, okay. If LM is less than key, that means what, that you need to search ahead of M, okay, you need to search ahead of M. So if you need to search ahead of M, definitely you need to change the value of S, okay. So S will become M plus 1, and again you will call this binary function with the changed values, okay. Again you will call this function binary with L, S, E, everything will remain the same, every parameter will remain the same. If not, if otherwise, what you will check? If lm is greater than key, then in that case what you will do, that as you know that lm is greater than key, that means what, that you need not search ahead of m, you need to search before m. Okay, and if you need to search before m, that means what, you need to decrement the value of e, you need to change the value of e, not the value of s. Okay, so what will be the value of e become? It will become m minus 1, and again you will call this binary function with the, you will not change the value of s, you will only change the value of e, and you will again call this binary function. That's it. Okay, so you can see how simple it is. Everything is defined, your base cases are defined, and these two are your recursive cases. Now the another thing is that you need to take the list. Let's take the same list. Okay, let's take the 4 7 so let me take this unsorted list: 15 9 4 16 7 12. Okay, so 15 9 4 then 16. If you want, you can accept the list from the user also, not a problem. You already know how to accept the things. Okay, you can use eval function. Okay, but before passing it to the function, as I told you, that you first need to sort it. Okay, you need to, the list must be sorted, and then what you will do, that after sorting you need to perform the binary search. Okay, so binary, so you will pass L, then what is your S? S is definitely your 0. What will be your E? It will be ln of L minus 1, start and end index positions. And now which is the element to be searched? Okay, so which element we had searched? Let's take the same element first. So first we were searching for 12. Okay, so let's see that whether 12 is present in this or not. Okay, so 12 is present, and it should be in the sorted list. Of course, it will give you its position in the sorted list. Okay, not in the original list. Okay, so where it is present? It is present at the third index position. So it must give the message that key found at index 3. Okay, so let me save it and then run it. Okay, so you can see that key found at index 3 is the message that gets printed. Okay, so that's it. Okay, let me run it for another element that we have taken. So let me make it 8. Let me try to search 8, whether 8 is present in this or not. So it must give a message that sorry, key not present in the list, and you can see that we have got the correct message. Okay, so this is how binary search happens. This is bit tricky, but not that tricky. If you understand its working, you should be able to write the function properly. Okay, you might be getting confused at this position, that how it is happening, but the thing is that you first need to check whether lm is equal to key or not. If you have checked, then if this is not equal, then you need to proceed to this particular portion, that okay, lm is not equal to key, but whether s has become equal to e. If it has become equal, then that means that key is, you have searched everything, in the list, and you have not found the key. So you have to stop by giving a message that sorry, key not present in the list. But if these two termination conditions, if these two base cases are not satisfied, then you need to search further. And how you will search further? You will check whether your lm is less than key or greater than key. Okay, these are the only two things left, because you have already checked whether lm is equal to key. If it is not, then you just need to check whether lm is less than key or greater than key. What does this less than key signifies? Lm less than key signifies that you need not to search before m, you need to search ahead of m. So how will you search? You will just change the value of start position. Okay, you need to change your start position, and it will now become equal to m plus 1, and then you again perform the search. Okay, if it is not, that is if lm is greater than key, then what does that mean? That you need to search before m. Okay, you need to search before m because your lm is greater than key. Okay, so you need to search before m, then only then there is a chance that you can find your key. So how will you search before m? You need to change the value of e, and what will e become? It will become m minus 1, and then you again perform the binary search, and you see whether lm is equal to key or whether s has become equal to e. If not, then you again keep repeatedly doing it. You need to check lm equal to, you need to check this, keep changing this start and end index positions. Okay, so your job will be done. So this is a very important, that's why I have devoted one example, one complete session on this particular recursive program. The two examples that I have, the two programs that I discussed in the previous class, that palindrome example, and then the Fibonacci series and the binary search, they are very important things. Basically, the benefit of binary search is that you are reducing your search space. Okay, the search time is reduced as compared to the linear search. Okay, so it is more efficient as compared to the linear search. You need not to search every element in the list. As you can see that now you're in the case of linear search, you need to check every element until you find the key. But in case of binary search, it is not so. You are reducing your search space, you are minimizing your search space. Okay, you just need to check the middle element. Okay, and you just need to compare it with the element that you are trying to find. If it is less than or greater than, accordingly you take your actions. Okay, so search space is reduced, search space is minimized. That is the advantage of binary search over the linear search. Okay, so I hope you got this concept of this recursive program for binary search. Let's meet in the next class, and I will try to show some more examples, and if not, then we will move to the next topic. Thank you.